Have you ever wondered what true wealth looks like? Not just in dollars, but in influence, culture, and legacy. Mansa Musa, the 14th century ruler of the Mali Empire, redefined opulence, amassing riches that stagger the imagination. His legendary wealth wasn't just about gold, it was about transforming an empire and shaping the course of history. But what drove him to such greatness? What lessons can we learn from his journey? In this documentary, we'll explore the rise of Mansa Musa from relative obscurity to the pinnacle of power. We'll dive into his monumental pilgrimage to Mecca, where he showcased his wealth and solidified his place in history. We'll also examine the cultural flourishing that defined his reign, from stunning architecture to centers of learning that continue to inspire today. Finally, we'll reflect on the challenges that followed and how his legacy endures in modern times. Stay with us, because the story of Mansa Musa is not just a tale of gold, it's a lesson in resilience, ambition, and the extraordinary impact one individual can have on the world. To understand the incredible legacy of Mansa Musa, we must go back to his early life. Born around 1280 in Ouagadougou, Musa came from a powerful family. His father, Fagaleye, was a nobleman in the Mali Empire, a region that grew wealthy from controlling important trade routes across the Sahara Desert. This land, rich in gold and salt, would shape Musa's future as a great leader. The Mali Empire was already growing during Musa's childhood, especially under the legendary Sundiata Keita. However, it faced threats from neighboring kingdoms like Songhai and the rising power of the Hausa city-states. These challenges taught young Musa the importance of bringing his people together against common enemies. Musa's education was crucial to his development. He learned the rich oral stories of the Mandinka people, which told of heroes and wise leaders. He also learned about trade, leadership, and Islam, preparing him for the responsibilities of ruling. His knowledge of Islamic teachings would later inspire him to improve education and culture in his empire. When Musa became king in 1312, he wasn't just a ruler, he had a clear vision. His rule came at a key time when the empire was ready for growth and prosperity. Musa worked to make Mali stronger by bringing together different regions and starting big projects that would ensure its future. Musa built roads, bridges, and strong towns to improve trade and communication across the empire. He knew that a strong economy needed good connections and proper management of resources. His farming projects introduced new methods and crops, which helped feed more people and grow the population. What truly set Mansa Musa apart was his commitment to education and culture. He wanted Mali to be more than just a center for trade. He wanted it to be a place of learning. Cities like Timbuktu became cultural hotspots thanks to his support. He invited scholars, architects, and artists from across the Islamic world, turning the empire into a hub of knowledge and spirituality. Musa's focus on education led to the founding of the famous Sankore University in Timbuktu, where thousands of people studied subjects like math, astronomy, and literature. His reign created a golden age of learning that influenced generations long after his death. In 1324, Mansa Musa went on a journey that made him famous around the world, not just as a ruler, but as a global figure. This journey was his pilgrimage to Mecca, known as the Hajj, an important act of faith for Muslims. For Musa, it was also a chance to show the world the wealth and power of the Mali Empire. As he prepared for the trip, Musa gathered a huge group of over 60,000 people, including soldiers, servants, and slaves, all dressed in fine fabrics and jewelry. Picture the scene. A massive group crossing the Sahara Desert, with camels carrying supplies and treasures like gold and precious stones. This was no ordinary journey. It was a display of Mali's greatness. The journey across the Sahara was difficult, with extreme heat and the danger of bandits. But Musa stayed determined. He stopped in important towns along the way, giving out gold to the poor and local leaders. This generous act was meant to build alliances and boost Mali's reputation. When Musa reached Cairo, a center of Islamic learning and trade, his caravan caused a huge stir. His generosity was so great that he gave out so much gold, it affected the economy for years, making prices rise. The story of Mansa Musa's wealth spread quickly, amazing people across the Islamic world and beyond. If you're finding this story as fascinating as we do, be sure to subscribe and stay with us for more on the incredible life of Mansa Musa. But the pilgrimage wasn't just about wealth. It was a spiritual journey too. Along the way, Musa spoke with scholars, religious leaders, and other pilgrims, gaining knowledge and forming connections with the wider Islamic community. These encounters shaped his vision for Mali. After visiting Mecca, Musa returned home inspired. He brought back not only treasures, but also a renewed commitment to education and culture. Seeing the grand mosques and schools during his travels, he wanted to bring the same spirit of learning to Mali. He imagined Timbuktu becoming a center of knowledge, inviting scholars from all over to teach and learn there. One of the most important outcomes of his pilgrimage was the building of the Jinguereber Mosque in Timbuktu. This beautiful mosque became both a place of worship and a center for learning, attracting students and scholars from far away and turning Timbuktu into a lively center of Islamic scholarship. Mansa Musa's Hajj was a defining moment in his life, one that echoed through history. It showed off the wealth of the Mali Empire and established Musa as a respected and admired figure around the world. As we explore more of his legacy, we'll see how this journey set the stage for a golden era of culture, education, and trade in Mali, further strengthening Mansa Musa's impact on history. Mansa Musa's rule turned Timbuktu into a vibrant center for trade and learning, attracting scholars and merchants from all over. It wasn't just about his wealth. Musa had a clear plan to make Mali a leader in culture and the economy. Timbuktu's location along key trade routes made it a major hub for exchanging goods like gold, ivory, and salt. Merchants didn't just bring products, they also brought new ideas, enriching the culture of the empire. Mansa Musa understood how important this cultural exchange was. He helped build important institutions like Sankore University, which became famous for its studies in science, math, and literature. Scholars from different backgrounds gathered here, sharing ideas that crossed borders. During this time, literature thrived. Historians and poets wrote about the empire's successes, creating a lasting tradition that highlighted Mali's many cultures and stories. Art and architecture also flourished under Musa's support. Architects and artists worked together to create beautiful buildings that showed off the unique Sudano-Sahelian style. These buildings in Timbuktu became symbols of the empire's greatness, reflecting both faith and cultural pride. Timbuktu's libraries stored important manuscripts, holding knowledge in subjects like math and medicine. These texts helped preserve the intellectual history of the Islamic world and beyond. Timbuktu wasn't just a city. It was a lively place full of learning and creativity, attracting people from all walks of life. This mix of scholarship and trade helped create a legacy that would last long after Mansa Musa's time. With each new achievement in Timbuktu, the empire's cultural identity grew stronger, becoming a symbol of Africa's rich heritage. As we think about Mansa Musa's life and rule, it's clear that his influence went beyond the wealth he collected or the cultural growth he encouraged. His legacy is deeply connected to African history, shaping the future of the Mali Empire and inspiring many generations. During his rule, Mansa Musa made big improvements in how the empire was governed. He set up a smart system of local governments, appointing governors to run different regions. This helped keep the empire united and made sure the needs of its people were met. This method of ruling was later copied by other empires across Africa. Economically, Musa turned Mali into one of the richest empires of its time. His control of the gold and salt trade made the empire wealthier and allowed Mali to trade not just within Africa, but also with Europe and the Middle East. The wealth of Mali attracted traders and scholars, making it known as a center of both riches and learning. Mansa Musa's famous pilgrimage, where he gave away large amounts of gold, made the world take notice of Mali's greatness. Musa's commitment to Islam also left a lasting impact on the region. He spread the faith, building mosques and centers for Islamic learning all over the empire. This not only deepened the religious life of the people, but also blended Islamic culture with local traditions, creating a rich and unique culture in Mali that lasted for centuries. However, Mansa Musa's legacy wasn't without its difficulties. After his death in 1337, the empire faced problems. Later rulers couldn't keep the same level of unity and wealth, and divisions within the empire began to appear. Still, the foundation Musa built remained strong, and his leadership continues to inspire cultural and intellectual life in West Africa. Mansa Musa's story also shows us the greatness that individuals and nations can achieve. His rise from modest beginnings to becoming one of the richest rulers in history is an example of how vision, determination, and dedication can change the world. Today, Mansa Musa is remembered not only as a king, but as a symbol of African strength and pride. As we end our look at Mansa Musa's life, we see that his legacy is complex, covering wealth, culture, education, and faith. His impact continues to be part of modern discussions about African history, challenging stories that often ignore the continent's contributions to world civilization. Mansa Musa's life reminds us that greatness can come from humble beginnings. As we move forward, we carry with us the lessons of his extraordinary journey, a lasting example of strong leadership, culture, and the importance of knowledge. While Mansa Musa's reign marked a golden age for the Mali Empire, it was not without its challenges. After his passing in 1337, the empire faced a series of crises that would test the foundations he had built. One of the immediate challenges was the succession of leadership. Mansa Musa's sons inherited a powerful empire, but they lacked the same vision and charisma. Internal power struggles and a lack of strong leadership weakened the centralized authority that Musa had established. The vibrant culture and economic prosperity began to wane as rival factions vied for control. Additionally, the empire faced external pressures from neighboring states. The rise of the Songhai Empire posed a significant threat. Under the leadership of Sunni Ali and later Askia Muhammad, Songhai expanded aggressively, challenging Mali's dominance in trade and military strength. The The once unified empire began to fracture, with provinces asserting more autonomy and loyalty, shifting away from the central authority. Trade routes, vital for Mali's economy, also faced disruption. As new trade centers emerged in the region, Mali struggled to maintain its economic dominance. The decline in control over these routes led to a decrease in revenue, further weakening the empire's power. Moreover, environmental factors played a role in the empire's challenges. The Sahara Desert, while a source of wealth, posed hardships for agriculture and trade. Changing climatic conditions made some areas less fertile, leading to food shortages that exacerbated tensions among the population. By the late 15th century, Mali's decline was evident. The once thriving cities that had flourished under Musa's reign experienced a downturn. Timbuktu, despite its legacy as a center of learning, faced increased competition and struggled to maintain its status. As we reflect on the challenges and eventual decline of the Mali Empire, it's crucial to recognize the cyclical nature of history. Mansa Musa's extraordinary contributions to culture, education, and trade set a standard that would echo through time, reminding us that even the greatest empires face trials. As we finish our journey through Mansa Musa's amazing life and reign, we see that his legacy goes beyond time and place. From his humble beginnings to becoming a global symbol of wealth and culture, Mansa Musa changed the story of African history in important ways. His pilgrimage to Mecca showed not just the riches of the Mali Empire, but also opened doors for cultural exchange and growth in knowledge. Under his leadership, Timbuktu became a center of learning, where knowledge thrived and was kept safe for future generations. The beautiful buildings he created, like the Jingueraber Mosque, still stand as symbols of Mali's historical importance. However, Mansa Musa's legacy is not just about wealth or cultural success. It shows the value of strong leadership, community, and the pursuit of knowledge. Even after his reign, the foundations he built for governance, education, and trade still matter today. His story makes us think about the greatness that can exist in each of us and the impact we can have on our communities and the world. Mansa Musa's life reminds us that true leadership is more than power. It's about helping others and creating a lasting legacy. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Mansa Musa, a ruler whose influence continues to inspire and resonate across the globe. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Ring the bell to stay updated on our latest content. Let us know what you want to see next, whether it's exploring more historical figures or diving into mythical tales.